Somewhere between $1 and $10 million, a business starts behaving differently. It acts like a teenager with car keys, high energy, unsupervised, and loud. Your calendar fills with questions you shouldn't even be answering. You spend your day filtering through the static of a growing operation, feeling the weight of every minor decision flowing back to your desk. The CEO role has moved into high resolution. Every workflow gap, messy handoff, and scattered data point is now sharper and clearer, including the parts of the business you'd rather not look at. This happens because the structural framework designed for a $500,000 business cannot support the weight of a $10 million scale. In the next 5 minutes, we are going to map out a new, goal-driven blueprint to replace that outdated framework. Go ahead and grab a pen and a piece of paper. Separating leadership style from architectural design is the first step toward reclaiming control of the company. First, write down one specific or recurring operational bottleneck where you are currently the central router for every decision. If the system defaults to you for these answers, it's because the current architecture lacks a logic to function without your direct input. In the early days, you relied on adrenaline and manual workarounds. At your current scale, those same workarounds become a source of friction. This diagram shows the structural trap. When every data point and team query all points to you, you become the bottleneck for the entire organization. Look at the bottleneck you wrote down. Briefly list the tiny tasks associated with it, then immediately cross them out. Above those tasks, write down the ultimate singular goal of that entire process. What is the actual result you need? This chart contrasts two different operating models. On the left are tasks, which create noise and dependency. On the right are goals, which provide direction and clarity. Tasks multiply and create noise. Goals simplify and create a clear path for the company to follow. If you automate a bad task, you just get faster chaos. Redesigning your company architecture requires you to start with the goal itself. Shifting your focus from how tasks are executed to how goals are achieved is the prerequisite for an intelligent company. We will use the 4-step inquiry before action protocol to analyze the goal you just defined. Step 1. Define the exact real-world outcome this process is supposed to produce. Step 2. Identify the specific data that actually matters, ignoring the static scattered across your different tools. Step 3. Locate the specific point where the process slows down or requires your intervention. And Step 4. Decide which repetitive elements can be orchestrated systematically instead of handed to a human. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. This brief pause for inquiry prevents the expensive, reactive decisions that happen in a noisy system. Now draw a vertical line down your paper. Label the left side judgment and the right side execution. In this model, humans are reserved for judgment, making final calls and providing high-level direction. AI agents handle the execution column. They gather data, route information, and complete the repetitive work required to meet the goal. This workflow shows the end result. Logic flows from the goal to execution and finally to human judgment. You'll notice the founder node is no longer required for the process to move forward. Dividing your workflow this way allows you to orchestrate intelligence rather than micromanaging tasks. It's calmer, cleaner, and sharper. Look at the blueprint in front of you. This is what true operational clarity looks like on paper. You've replaced manual oversight with a design that functions on intelligence. A growing company thrives when it moves past heroic late-night founder interventions and adopts a smarter version of itself. To see where else these structural bottlenecks are hiding in your business, take the Owner's Bottleneck quiz. If you want to see how this architecture is executed in real time, you can book a clarity call at callconey.com to see a demonstration of Morgentic. Once the architecture is right and the company begins to think for itself, you can finally step back into the role of CEO.